YouTube battle community, Little Richard fans, random people on the internet, my name is Giggens, and we're here today to talk about Little Richard's unreleased 1972 album, Southern Child, which eventually got an actual release for Record Store Day 2020. Very cool this thing finally exists, and look at that cover. Woo! Milking a cow. This was Little Richard going country. Well, for the most part, most of these songs are country. Some of them are kind of a funky R&B, rock and roll mixture. And these songs have kind of come out over the years on different box sets and releases in bits and pieces, but never before as a full record released on its own. And so happy that this thing exists because it's such a fantastic listen. This album came after a couple of a string of really great albums by Little Richard, including a covers album where he did Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones, which is a fantastic version. If you ever heard that, dig that one up. So to hear him do something completely different is great, number one, but number two, it must have opened his world up some more to try different genres, and there's nothing better than watching an artist explore and see what they can do with something and see how it fits into their mold and see what they can produce from it. That's kind of the result I got from this record here, where a lot of this thing is like straight up country, but the opening track on here, California I'm Coming, is just Little Richard screaming his ass off over this fantastic country rock beat. It's a fantastic opener track. I mean, this thing could have sat on Exile on Main Street with no problem. He sounds incredible. So you get that really rock and raspy classic voice he was known for over this heavy, funky country vibe, and it works. It completely works. I don't know why this album was shelved at the time. I mean, obviously, the record company saw something they didn't want to put out maybe and thought, it wouldn't sell. Let's just stay with the rock and roll stuff. Maybe that was the case. Regardless, it's an absolutely fantastic opener. This thing sets the tone for just the country, sitting on the rocking chair on the porch, looking at the field kind of vibe. You know, you worked on the farm all day, milking the cows, and now you're kind of looking back and reminiscing and thinking about where you were. And this track, for me, is a perfect opener. Then you get If You Pick Her Too Hard, She Comes Out of Tune, which is either the dirtiest song title I've ever said out loud or about a guitar. This one is a ballad, more in the way of an R&B kind of vocal, but I love the mostly acoustic build on this track. It's just really well played instruments. You get the bass, the guitar, the acoustic guitars I should say, and then Little Richard giving a much more smoother delivery than what he was known for. And I love hearing the difference in his voice, to hear him go different places musically. Fantastic track. Burning Up With Love. This one for me is one of my favorites. This is total funky country if you ask me. That slow burn in his voice is undeniably cool. The psychedelic guitar leads that stab through this thing, that shouty chorus. This could have been a decent single. If nothing came from this album, this one song should have been a single. The chorus is such a head bobber. Love that track. Ain't No Tellin', right back to country again. We're back on that front porch, singing your blues away kind of song. Really nice slide guitar on this one. Nice reflective acoustic guitar. Nice warm kind of vibe throughout this track. Love the smoother, calmer vocal again from Richard. And then last year's Racehorse, Can't Run on This Year's Race, and side one. More of that country blues kind of feel, rocking away. Little Richard wailing on top. And this one for me again would fit somewhere on Sticky Fingers, Exile on Main Street. And I've made that comparison a couple of times, but that's because the Stones were big Little Richard fans. And so when they were doing country, this almost sounds like, Little Richard doing his version of country, kind of like the Stones would do. It just works. Side 2 starts off with the opening song, the title track, I should say, Southern Child. And I love the confidence in Richard's voice here. That bass is rolling on this thing. Such a fun bass line. The acoustic guitars blend so well with that slide guitar. He just sounds like he's having so much fun. And I think that's what's so attractive about this album, is that you can tell he's in a different headspace. You can tell that he's looking for something new. That hunger, that drive is still there. This is a guy who's been doing this for well over 15 years now. And to be this hungry to make new music, that just is a testament to what this guy was made of for rock and roll and the musical world all around him. What a talented dude. But I love the harmonica solo on this one a lot. Nice touch. The harmonica has always been sort of a country home kind of spun instrument, if you will. So it adds to that country flavor. In the name, it says version 3 after this, so I'm guessing there was a version 1 and 2 at one point. But great harmonies on this one. A nice lightly strummed acoustic guitar, I should say. and a really passionate lead vocal on this one. Very soothing, passionate lead vocal. He even has a talking section on here, which starts off with "Honey," which I think is fantastic. Fun little song. "Over Yonder," listen. Love the accents at the end of his voice. Very 50s Richard on this one with his vocal. Very old school country here. This song sounds like something you would have heard on a really scratchy 78 RPM, but a total sing-along. I mean, this track itself is definitely something that I think would have worked well in a concert setting. "I Get a Little Lonely" is track 4. Really, really closer to a deep, deep Southern blues on this one, if you ask me, which does have bits of country influence anyway. But again, another sing-along chorus, that bass holding the rhythm all together. Got kind of an abrupt ending on this one, but I dig it. And "Puppy Dog Song," this is a very interesting song to end the album with because it's basically him talking about different dogs, and there's great barking sections on here too. But I'm wondering if there's something deeper. I wonder if there's a deeper message to this one because he mentions different colors of dogs and kind of what they might represent. So I'm wondering if this was like a socio-political song about what was going on at the time in the country, or if it might just be about dogs. I'm not really sure, but cool song nonetheless. It's definitely a jammer. It sounds like something that P-Funk would have done later on. The great thing about this record is you get the entire story on the inside. So the entire story about what happened, what was going on in his life, the whole thing's here. Got the title up there, and get ready for this. Oh yeah, bright yellow, and this thing is like glow-in-the-dark, translucent, super duper yellow is what I meant to say. It's not showing up too well on the camera. Well, pretty well there. But yeah, is it an outtake? Yeah, a different picture on the label there. It's funny because I wasn't intending to pick this one up. I didn't think I'd find a copy, so I didn't put it in my head as something I wanted to pick up because I don't really buy stuff online. I really only buy things when I see them in person. And I saw this in my local record shop, and I was like, all right, it was meant to be. And very happy I did. So if you haven't heard this thing, give it a listen. If you have heard it, let me know what you think. But for me, this is easily a 7 out of 10 album. I think it's great. I would like a little bit more of the funky country. I kind of like that a lot more. I really dig his softer, more bluesy country vibe that he gives off on several tracks, for sure. Really nice to hear him do something different like that, but where he shines is kind of mixing his crazy Little Richard vocal with that slightly funky country rock vibe. But that combination, I think, really works. If the whole album was that, it probably would have been released. But that's just my 2 cents. So yeah, 7 out of 10. My name is Giggens. This has been Little Richard, Southern Child. Dig this thing, man. It's such a cool album. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.